Vale Unbound. In the age of yore, in the heart of old Norse lands, a village nestled between ancient fjords faced an eerie phenomenon, a thick mist that rolled in from the distant seas. The air grew dense with an otherworldly chill as the mist settled, casting an ominous shroud over the rugged landscape. The villagers, hardy folk with weathered faces and tales etched into their very bones, knew to fear the encroaching mist. Stories passed down through generations whispered of the Draugr, malevolent spirits of the dead, awakened by the touch of the mysterious fog. As the mist clung to the world, the boundary between the living and the afterlife blurred, and the Draugr emerged from the shadows of the past. Thorstein, a seasoned warrior with a lineage traced back to the legendary warriors of the north, stood at the forefront of the village's defense. His eyes, sharp as the edge of his battle-worn axe, scanned the horizon as the mist descended like a ghostly veil. The first moans of the Draugr echoed through the air, a haunting prelude to the impending darkness. The village, once vibrant with life and laughter, now cowered beneath the oppressive mist. Thorstein rallied his people, their breath visible in the cold air, as they prepared for the spectral onslaught. A shiver ran down his spine, not from the cold, but from the ancient knowledge that these Draugr were not mere phantoms. They hungered for the warmth of the living. As night fell, the first of the Draugr emerged, a ghastly figure clad in tattered remnants of armor, its eyes glinting with a malevolent glow. The air crackled with an unholy energy as the villagers clashed with the ethereal invaders. Thorstein's axe cleaved through the mist-bound foes, but each fallen Draugr was swiftly replaced by another. The mist thickened, weaving tendrils around the legs of the living, threatening to pull them into the realm of the dead. Thorstein's breath quickened as he battled not only the Draugr, but also the encroaching darkness that sought to consume his people. In the heart of the struggle, Thorstein glimpsed the ghostly forms of ancestors and fallen comrades among the Draugr ranks. Their eyes, once filled with warmth, now bore a cold and distant stare. The mist carried the weight of forgotten tales and unresolved grievances, manifesting in the relentless onslaught. The village became a battleground of the living and the spectral, a dance between the mortal and the otherworldly. Thorstein's movements were a symphony of steel, a desperate attempt to stave off the encroaching doom. Yet, with each swing of his axe, the mist clung tighter, threatening to consume all in its path. As the night wore on, the line between reality and nightmare blurred. Thorstein and his people fought not only for survival, but against a force that sought to erase the very essence of their existence. The mist, thick and suffocating, whispered the forgotten tales of a time long past, and the Draugr danced to the haunting melody of a dark fantasy written in the blood of the north. The village's flickering fires cast long shadows, distorted by the swirling mist that refused to yield. Thorstein's weary eyes met those of his kin, each reflecting the shared struggle etched in the lines of their faces. The cries of the wounded mingled with the haunting wails of the Draugr, creating a cacophony that resonated through the desolate night. The mist, now a sentient force, seemed to mock their feeble resistance. Thorstein, surrounded by the echoes of the past, pressed on, his resolve unwavering despite the mounting odds. The air crackled with an otherworldly energy as the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred further. Amidst the chaos, a lone figure emerged from the mist, a spectral presence draped in tattered robes, its eyes ablaze with an ancient malevolence. It was not just a Draugr, it was a harbinger of the mist's dark intent. Thorstein, his breath visible in the frigid air, locked eyes with the apparition, sensing an ancient power that transcended the battlefield. The village, now a battleground between realms, groaned under the weight of forgotten histories. Thorstein's movements, once driven by the sheer instinct for survival, now bore the weight of ancestral burdens. Each swing of his axe seemed to echo with the memories of battles long past, intertwining the fates of the living and the dead. As the night wore on, the mist's grip tightened, shadows danced on the periphery of perception, and the very ground beneath their feet seemed to resonate with the pulse of an ancient heartbeat. Thorstein, his body battered and soul tested, fought not only for the present, but for the very fabric of existence. The Draugr, undeterred by the mortality they once shared with the villagers, pressed forward like an unrelenting tide. Thorstein's defiance was a flicker of light in the encroaching darkness, a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who clung to life in the face of insurmountable odds. The mist, a silent witness to the unfolding drama, whispered secrets of bygone eras, weaving tales of heroism and tragedy. Thorstein, caught in the midst of this spectral symphony, carved his own narrative with each swing of his weapon, determined to etch a mark on the tapestry of time. And so, beneath the looming presence of the mist, the battle raged on, a struggle against forces that transcended the mortal realm. Thorstein and his people, entwined with the echoes of the past, faced an uncertain future, their destinies written in the mist that clung to the bones of the old Norse lands. In the heart of the ethereal battleground, Thorstein's breath mingled with the haunting whispers of the mist, his every step a defiant declaration against the encroaching darkness. The village, once a sanctuary of warmth and camaraderie, now stood as a testament to the fragile nature of mortal existence. As the mist thickened, an ancient force stirred a primordial energy that pulsed through the veins of the land itself. Thorstein, his senses attuned to the unseen currents, felt a profound connection to the very essence of the North. The mist, an embodiment of forgotten tales and ancestral memories, seemed to respond to the rhythm of his heartbeat. The Draugr, no longer mere adversaries but conduits of the mist's malevolence, moved with a spectral grace. Thorstein's fellow warriors, their faces etched with the weariness of endless combat, fought alongside him as comrades in a battle that transcended time itself. Through the swirling mist, Thorstein glimpsed fleeting images of his forebears, warriors of old, faces familiar yet veiled in the shadows of the past. Their silent guidance echoed in the wind, urging him to forge a destiny that resonated with the courage of the Northmen who came before him. The village, its structures now adorned with the scars of conflict, became a sacred battleground where the living and the dead confronted the inevitable dance of fate. Thorstein, his eyes ablaze with determination, faced the spectral tide with a resolve that surpassed the mortal coil. In the heart of the chaos, a moment of clarity seized Thorstein, a revelation that the mist, though a harbinger of doom, held within it the echoes of forgotten wisdom. The Draugr, animated by a force older than time, were but manifestations of a cosmic balance disturbed. As dawn approached, casting a feeble light upon the battered village, Thorstein and the remaining warriors stood on the precipice of an uncertain future. The mist, though reluctant to retreat, began to recede like a tide pulled back by unseen hands. The Draugr, their spectral forms dissolving into the remnants of the mist, returned to the shadows from whence they came. The village, scarred yet resilient, bore witness to the ephemeral nature of the struggle. Thorstein, his breath steadying in the cold morning air, surveyed the aftermath, a landscape marked by the intertwining threads of life and death, of the present and the past. And so, beneath the clearing sky, the Northmen faced a new day, an unwritten chapter in a saga that echoed through the mists of time, where the boundary between reality and the ethereal remained as fragile as the lingering remnants of the Old Norse mist. Yet, as the mist reluctantly lifted, a sense of foreboding settled over the village, like a vengeful spirit, unwilling to be banished. The air, once thick with the supernatural chill, now carried a heavy weight, and the landscape bore witness to the toll exacted by the spectral confrontation. Thorstein, though victorious in fending off the immediate threat, couldn't shake the feeling that the mist, now dispersing like the fading echoes of a mournful dirge, had left behind a lingering darkness. The once defiant spirits of the Northmen waned, replaced by a quiet unease that permeated the very soil they stood upon. The village, now a melancholic tableau of the night's struggle, seemed to mourn its losses. The fallen, both living and spectral, left an indelible mark on the hearts of the survivors. Thorstein's gaze, heavy with the burden of the unknown, met with the eyes of his people, a collective stare that spoke of shared trauma and the unsettling realization that the mist's departure did not herald a return to normalcy. As daylight bathed the wounded land, Thorstein surveyed the aftermath, his footsteps echoing with a hollow cadence. The mist, though dissipated, had revealed a truth far more disquieting than the malevolent spirits it had unleashed. The village, once a bastion of resilience, now bore scars that transcended the physical. It carried the weight of a connection severed and a delicate balance disrupted. In the distance, the fjords whispered tales of a past forever altered, their waters reflecting the uncertainty that clung to the air. Thorstein, standing on the precipice of what should have been a new beginning, couldn't escape the sinking feeling that the mist, in its retreat, had left behind an indomitable shadow and intangible dread that lingered in the corners of every heart. The Northmen, though survivors, cast wary glances towards the horizon. The mist, a harbinger of forgotten nightmares, had revealed a truth that could not be unseen. As the day unfolded, a haunting awareness settled over the village, an understanding that the battle against the mist was but a prelude to a far more insidious war, where the line between the living and the dead, the known and the unknown, blurred into an unsettling and perpetual twilight.